Yeah, my name is Dan Nepstad. I'm the Executive Director and President of the Earth Innovation Institute. And I'm a scientist. I'm here because we've been working many years on trying to really potentialize forests within the climate change agenda.
What is the state of forests in these discussions that have been going on for the last week or so?
I think at the high level, in the formal negotiations, maybe not huge. It's very political, and at the subnational level, though, it's been phenomenal. We're going to hear announcements over the next few days of governors who, if they were a national economy, they'd be among the top 8 to 10 national commitments being made only through their forest agenda.
Would this be Jerry Brown from California, for example, or any other names?
Yeah, Jerry Brown has been helping to sort of mobilize the governors around the world through his Under 2 MOU. That alone will give us almost 20 gigatons of emissions reductions by 2020. 2030, I should say. Most of that is from forests. But Governor Pedro Takis from the state of Mato Grosso in the Amazon region, he will be presenting an agenda for lowering all alone 4 gigatons by 2030 just from his state.
How essential are forests in all of this? We need to prevent catastrophic global warming, capping temperatures to 2 degrees this century. How important are forests in that equation?
Yeah, I was one of the lead authors of the latest IPCC report, and we dealt a lot with how do we get to a solution. And basically we need land use. We need forest deforestation to come down, forest degradation to come down as we allow those forests to recover and as we get new forests on currently abandoned and degraded land. That could be big enough to buy us 15 to 20 years, which we'll need to decarbonize the energy economy. It's going to take a long time to get us beyond coal-powered electricity, especially in China and India. And so without forests, the equation really doesn't close. We've got to have forests as a central piece to the global solution.
You appear to be more optimistic about some of these initiatives being taken on a subnational level, perhaps by private actors, aside the cumbersome UN process. Is that where we're going to see this drive for reforestation and the like?
Yes, exactly. Governor Brown himself, we've all heard of the California effect, where aggressive legislation for pollution ends up leaking out to other countries and other states. And that's happening today with climate change. Jerry Brown's Under 2 MOU agenda currently has about 60 signatories, and they're a major part of the global economy, and they're all pledging to radically ramp down greenhouse gases by 2050. Forests are the biggest part of that. So a state like Mato Grosso or like Eastern Kalimantan, which signed yesterday, they bring in huge potential to get us to a solution because they're ramping down deforestation very rapidly.
How much faith are you putting in schemes like REDD+, for example, again, to tackle deforestation?
Yeah, REDD+ is an important part of this. It's I think far along in the negotiations. I think it will survive the final agreement. It has not panned out the way we had hoped. I think a lot of us in Copenhagen in 2009.
It's been 10 years in planning, has it not?
Yeah, it was officially launched in 2007 in Bali, so almost 10 years. And we were very involved with getting it in place and promoting it. But there's just not enough money there to really pay for the fundamental change in rural development that's taking place in tropical regions that's going to allow us to really capture this potential of forests as part of the big solution. So it's moving slowly. It's very important, though. You look in Brazil and the Norwegians, they've already committed $1 billion. Most of that is now committed or has been spent. We see REDD money getting to the ground, although not the way we thought originally. It's not a unified global sort of market mechanism that would be perhaps more efficient and operate at a bigger scale than we thought pre-Copenhagen.
Just a final comment. You mentioned that you were an author of the IPCC report, but do you think in the future we're going to need more concise summaries for policymakers and clearer guides for people to act on? It's often been a criticism of the Bureau that they're just a bit too long and they are not necessarily that clear for people to put into policy. Any comments on that?
Yeah, I think, first of all, the IPCC process is very conservative. Sure. Every single fact gets checked. You're always signing off on no conflict of interest statements. And so even though the conclusions we came up with are quite extraordinary, they're still very conservative. So we do need better ways of not letting the influence of the climate deniers, which I think are now more and more seen by the broader public as being on a crusade to defend fossil fuel, to not let them get in the way. And the public is seeing climate change for itself, and I think that's been extremely powerful. In many countries, as that percentage of the population that wants a big solution for climate change gets above 50%, suddenly it's something you can campaign around as a plus, and not something you have to sort of hide in your back pocket. So.
Okay. Dan, thanks. We'll leave it there.